Fear is a natural part of the human experience, but it was never meant to rule over us. It often arises when we face the unknown or when we are uncertain about the outcome of a situation. Fear, left unchecked, can become a prison, trapping us in inaction, doubt, and hesitation. However, there is a way out: faith. Faith has the power to break through the chains of fear and set us on a path of courage and confidence. Faith transcends fear because it provides a solid foundation upon which you can stand, even when everything around you feels unstable. Fear thrives in uncertainty. It feeds off the unknown, making you question your abilities, your future, and the outcomes of your actions. When you let fear take control, it distorts your perception. You start to see problems as insurmountable, challenges as impossible to overcome, and risks as inevitable failures. Fear keeps you looking inward, focusing on your limitations rather than your potential. But faith offers a completely different perspective. It shifts your mindset from one of doubt to one of confidence. Instead of seeing what might go wrong, faith encourages you to see what could go right. Faith is rooted in trust. It is the unwavering belief that there is something greater at work beyond what you can see or fully understand. When you have faith, you don't need to know every detail or see the entire path ahead to take the next step. You trust that the way will reveal itself, that solutions will appear, and that opportunities will present themselves at the right moment. This trust is what allows faith to rise above fear. Consider for a moment the process of planting a seed. You bury the seed in the ground, and for a while nothing seems to be happening. Fear would have you believe that nothing will grow, that the effort is wasted, that there's no point in waiting for something to sprout. But faith operates differently. Faith knows that growth is happening beneath the surface, even though it can't yet be seen. It trusts in the process, confident that in time, the seed will break through the soil and blossom into something beautiful. This is how faith transcends fear. Fear looks at the dark, uncertain soil and says, nothing is happening. Faith, on the other hand, says, there's something growing here, even if I can't see it yet. That's the power of faith. It goes beyond what the eyes can see and trusts in what the heart knows. When you live from a place of faith, your focus shifts from problems to possibilities. Fear is incredibly effective at magnifying the obstacles in your life. It makes the challenges seem bigger, more complex, and harder to navigate. Fear tends to fixate on what could go wrong, often leaving you paralyzed by indecision. But faith flips this script. Instead of focusing on the problem, faith directs your attention to the potential. It asks, what can I learn from this challenge? How can this obstacle lead me to growth? What opportunities might come out of this situation? Faith doesn't ignore the existence of difficulties, but it refuses to let them dictate your actions. Think of a person standing at the base of a mountain, looking up at the towering peak. Fear tells them that the climb is too steep, the journey too long, and the summit too far out of reach. But faith tells them something different. Faith doesn't deny the difficulty of the climb. It acknowledges that there will be struggles along the way, but it also reminds them of the view from the top. Faith says, yes, it's a challenge, but think of what you will accomplish once you reach the summit. It shifts the focus from the struggle to the reward. This shift in focus is one of the most powerful ways faith can transcend fear. When your attention is on what's possible, fear loses its grip. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw only obstacles. You find solutions where you previously thought there were none. Fear keeps you stuck, but faith moves you forward. It opens doors to new possibilities and helps you see beyond your current circumstances. But faith isn't just about seeing opportunities, it's about acting on them. Faith is what empowers you to take that first step, even when you don't know what the outcome will be. It's the belief that as you move forward, the path will unfold. Fear demands certainty before it allows you to act, but faith embraces the unknown. It's the courage to step into uncertainty with the confidence that you will find your way, even if you don't have all the answers right now. This is why faith is so powerful. It doesn't eliminate fear altogether, but it gives you the strength to move forward despite it. It provides you with a foundation that is unshakable, even when the circumstances around you are uncertain. Faith transcends fear by offering a new perspective, one that is grounded in possibility, trust, and hope. It reminds you that no matter what challenges you face, you have the inner strength and resilience to overcome them. In every situation where fear threatens to hold you back, faith invites you to move forward. It's a choice you make, not just once, but every day. And with every step you take in faith, fear loses its power, and you become stronger, more confident, and more capable of achieving the things you once thought were impossible. Faith lifts you above the limitations that fear tries to impose, helping you see that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Fear paralyzes, but faith activates. The distinction between these two forces is clear when we examine how each affects our ability to move forward in life. Fear thrives in stagnation. It keeps us stuck, often in the same place for years, because it convinces us that movement is risky, that taking a step into the unknown might result in failure or harm. It whispers to us that it's safer to remain where we are, even if we feel unfulfilled or unsatisfied. This is the paralyzing nature of fear. It holds you hostage to your current reality, preventing you from exploring what could be possible. When fear takes control, it clouds your judgment, making every challenge seem insurmountable. It amplifies your self-doubt and makes even small decisions feel overwhelming. You hesitate, overthink, and ultimately find yourself immobilized by the what-ifs that flood your mind. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if things don't go as planned? These questions, rooted in fear, keep you in a state of inaction. Fear turns simple tasks into monumental challenges, exaggerating the risks and diminishing your confidence in your own abilities. But faith operates on a completely different wavelength. Faith doesn't require all the answers up front, nor does it demand a perfect plan. Faith activates you and moves you into action, often before the path is fully clear. Where fear immobilizes, faith compels you to take that first step, trusting that the rest of the path will reveal itself in time. Faith encourages you to take a step forward, even when you can't see the entire staircase. Faith doesn't mean you ignore the risks or the challenges ahead. It simply means you trust that you will find a way to overcome them. When you move forward with faith, you're not pretending that obstacles don't exist. You're choosing not to let them control your actions. Faith is an internal compass that directs you toward progress, even when the way forward isn't entirely visible. It's the belief that action, even imperfect action, will lead to growth, while inaction leads only to missed opportunities. Think about moments in your life where fear has held you back. Perhaps there was an opportunity you didn't seize because you were too afraid of failing. Maybe it was a decision you avoided because the potential consequences seemed too daunting. In each of these instances, fear paralyzed you, keeping you stuck in place. Now contrast that with moments where you acted in faith, where you took a step forward despite uncertainty. Even if the outcome wasn't perfect, you grew from those experiences. You learned, you adapted, and you progressed. This is the difference faith makes. It activates your potential, pushing you toward growth, whereas fear keeps you from tapping into that potential at all. Faith also activates your creativity and problem-solving abilities. When you're stuck in fear, your mind becomes focused on everything that could go wrong, which severely limits your ability to think clearly or see solutions. Fear narrows your focus, zeroing in on problems rather than possibilities. It creates mental barriers that make it hard to imagine alternatives or see a way out. However, when you operate from a place of faith, your mind opens up to new possibilities. You start to see opportunities where there were once only obstacles. Faith allows you to think more creatively, to approach challenges with a mindset of curiosity rather than dread. You ask yourself, how can I make this work? Instead of, what if this doesn't work? Faith fuels resilience. When you act in faith, you develop the ability to bounce back from setbacks more quickly. Fear causes you to avoid challenges because it tells you that failure is final. But faith understands that failure is often just a stepping stone to success. When you embrace faith, you stop viewing failure as the end and start seeing it as part of the process. Every time you take a step forward in faith, even if you stumble, you learn something valuable. This process of trial, error, and adjustment strengthens your resolve, making you more resilient with each step. Faith activates courage. It allows you to confront fears head-on, Recognizing that fear is not an indication to stop, but rather a sign that growth is on the other side. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Faith empowers this kind of courage. It whispers that, while the journey may be challenging, you are capable of handling it. It gives you the confidence to take risks, knowing that even if you encounter setbacks, you will find the strength to persevere. Faith is what drives progress. It moves you beyond the paralysis that fear creates, unlocking the doors that fear would rather keep closed. Faith reminds you that no matter how daunting a situation may appear, you have within you the power to overcome it. It doesn't require you to have all the answers, only that you take the first step, trusting that the rest will follow. Where fear limits your potential, faith activates it, propelling you toward growth, achievement, and a deeper understanding of your own strength. With faith, you don't just survive life's challenges, you thrive through them, becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable with each step forward. Fear thrives in uncertainty, but faith provides clarity and direction. When faced with the unknown, it's natural for fear to surface. Uncertainty can make you feel lost, confused, and unsure of what to do next. It clouds your judgment and makes even the simplest decisions feel overwhelming. This is where fear gains its power. When you don't know what's coming next, fear takes the lead, filling your mind with worst-case scenarios, potential pitfalls, and a barrage of doubts. It's the uncertainty that makes fear so potent, as it feeds on your lack of control and your anxiety about the future. Faith operates in a completely different way. While fear magnifies uncertainty, faith brings clarity. Faith doesn't require you to know every step of the journey, but it does provide a sense of direction. Instead of feeling lost in the unknown, faith gives you an inner compass. It may not reveal the entire path, but it lights up the next step. Faith allows you to trust that the way forward will be shown to you in time, and that the right opportunities and solutions will come into view as you move forward. Imagine for a moment that you're walking through a dense fog. Fear would have you believe that, because you can't see far ahead, it's safer to stop moving altogether. The fog represents uncertainty, and fear thrives in this space, making you feel disoriented and unsure. But faith tells you that even if you can't see the whole path, you can still take one step at a time. It reassures you that with each step, more of the path will become clear. This is the power of faith. It provides the clarity to keep moving, even when the way ahead isn't fully visible. Faith also has a way of cutting through the noise that fear creates. When you're overwhelmed by uncertainty, fear makes it hard to think clearly. It bombards you with doubts, questions, and anxieties, making it difficult to focus on what's truly important. Fear creates mental clutter, and this clutter can paralyze you. But faith brings focus. It centers your mind on the things that truly matter, allowing you to filter out the distractions and focus on what you can control. Faith gives you the clarity to see through the fog of fear and to trust that, while you may not know all the answers, you are still on the right path. One of the most significant ways faith provides clarity is by giving you a sense of purpose. Fear often arises when you feel aimless or unsure of your direction. When you don't have a clear sense of what you're working toward, the uncertainty can lead to feelings of anxiety and doubt. But faith fills that void with purpose. It reminds you that you are working towards something greater than your immediate circumstances. Even when the road ahead is unclear, faith provides the reassurance that your efforts are leading you somewhere meaningful. This sense of purpose is a powerful antidote to fear. When you have faith in the direction you're headed, the uncertainty becomes less daunting. You may not know exactly how things will unfold, but you trust that your actions are aligned with a greater purpose. This gives you the confidence to keep moving forward, even in the face of challenges or setbacks. Fear may still whisper doubts in your ear, but faith keeps you focused on your purpose, reminding you why you started in the first place. Faith also helps you navigate uncertainty by shifting your mindset from one of control to one of trust. Fear demands control. It wants guarantees, clear answers, and a defined path. But the reality is that life doesn't work that way. Uncertainty is inevitable, and no one can control every aspect of their future. Faith, on the other hand, teaches you to let go of the need for control and to trust in the process. It allows you to release the anxiety that comes from trying to predict every outcome and instead focus on what you can do in the present moment. When you stop trying to control every variable and start trusting the process, you open yourself up to new possibilities. Faith allows you to embrace the unknown, knowing that you have the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. It gives you the confidence to face uncertainty head-on without being paralyzed by fear. Instead of worrying about what might go wrong, you begin to trust that things will work out as they should. This shift in mindset is crucial when navigating uncertainty. Fear focuses on the unknown and tries to protect you from it by keeping you in a state of inaction. But faith looks at the same uncertainty and sees it as an opportunity for growth and discovery. It encourages you to step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that each step you take will bring you closer to clarity. Faith provides clarity by helping you see challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. Fear views challenges as threats, something to be avoided or feared. But faith sees them differently. It recognizes that challenges are part of the journey and that they often hold the key to your growth. When you approach life with faith, you understand that challenges are not something to fear, but rather opportunities to learn and become stronger. This perspective shifts how you approach uncertainty. Instead of dreading the unknown, you begin to embrace it, knowing that every challenge you face brings you closer to your ultimate goal. While fear thrives in uncertainty, faith brings clarity and direction. It provides an inner sense of purpose, a trust in the process, and the confidence to move forward, even when the way ahead is not fully clear. Faith shifts your focus from the unknown to the opportunities within the unknown, giving you the strength to navigate uncertainty with confidence and grace. It cuts through the fog of fear, helping you stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Fear often isolates us, making us feel like we are facing the challenges of life alone. It magnifies our sense of vulnerability, convincing us that no one else understands what we are going through. This isolation can be debilitating, as it reinforces the fear and makes it harder to break free from it. When fear takes hold, it becomes easy to feel disconnected from others and from the support that's available to us. It tricks us into believing that we must bear the weight of our struggles by ourselves. This sense of isolation can prevent us from reaching out for help when we need it most. Fear tells us that admitting we need support is a sign of weakness, that others might judge us or misunderstand us. As a result, we often choose to struggle in silence, carrying our burdens alone and allowing fear to deepen its grip. This isolation not only intensifies our fears, but also robs us of the encouragement and guidance we could receive from others. It cuts us off from the very resources that could help us overcome our fears. Faith, however, operates on a completely different level. Faith connects us not just to ourselves, but to others and to a higher power. It reminds us that we are never truly alone in our struggles. Faith assures us that there is a greater force working on our behalf, guiding us and providing us with the strength we need to overcome any challenge. This connection to something greater than ourselves is a powerful antidote to the isolation that fear creates. Faith invites us to recognize that we are part of a larger whole. It reminds us that we are interconnected with others and that support is always available, even when we can't see it. Faith fosters a sense of community and belonging, encouraging us to reach out to others and share our struggles. When we act in faith, we open ourselves up to the possibility of receiving help, guidance, and encouragement from those around us. We begin to see that we are not the only ones facing challenges and that others have walked similar paths before us. This realization can be incredibly liberating as it breaks down the walls of isolation that fear builds. Faith also connects us to a higher power, giving us a sense of peace and reassurance in the face of fear. This connection is not necessarily tied to any specific religious belief, but can be understood as an awareness that there is something greater than ourselves at work in the universe. When we trust in this higher power, we are able to release some of the control that fear demands. We stop trying to micromanage every detail of our lives and instead place our trust in the idea that everything is unfolding as it should. This trust provides a deep sense of comfort as it reminds us that we are being guided and supported every step of the way. Through faith, we learn to lean on this connection to a higher power in moments of fear. We begin to understand that we don't have to have all the answers or figure everything out on our own. Faith reminds us that we are being cared for, even when life feels uncertain or overwhelming. This sense of divine connection can bring immense peace in the midst of fear, allowing us to face challenges with greater calm and confidence. Faith strengthens our relationships with others. Fear, in its isolating nature, often creates distance between us and the people who care about us. It can make us withdraw, even from those who are willing to offer support. But faith encourages us to reach out and connect. It teaches us that vulnerability is not a weakness but a strength, and that sharing our fears with others can bring relief and healing. When we open up to those we trust, we create space for deeper connection and mutual support. Faith builds a community around us. It helps us see that we are part of something larger, whether it's a spiritual community, a family, or a group of friends. These relationships provide the support system we need to face our fears. When we act in faith, we understand that we don't have to carry our burdens alone. There are others who can walk with us, offer wisdom, and remind us of our inner strength when fear clouds our judgment. Faith fosters an environment of love and support, which can help dissolve the isolation that fear creates. Faith encourages us to seek wisdom from those who have walked similar paths before us. Fear often makes us feel like we are the only ones struggling, but faith opens our eyes to the experiences of others. It allows us to learn from their journeys and draw strength from their stories of overcoming adversity. By connecting with others who have faced and conquered similar fears, we gain perspective and insight that can guide us through our own challenges. Faith reminds us that we are never truly alone. It connects us to others, to a higher power, and to the resources that can help us face our fears with courage and resilience. Where fear isolates and weakens, faith unites and strengthens. It provides a sense of belonging, a reminder that we are part of a greater whole, and that support is always available to us when we seek it. Through faith, we find the courage to reach out, the wisdom to listen, and the strength to face our fears with a sense of peace and trust. Faith breaks the chains of isolation that fear imposes, allowing us to move forward with confidence, knowing that we are not alone. It connects us to the power of community and the reassurance of a higher purpose, giving us the strength to overcome fear and embrace the challenges ahead with an open heart and a courageous spirit. In conclusion, fear is a powerful force that can paralyze us, isolate us, and distort our perception of reality. However, through the transformative power of faith, we can overcome fear and move forward with confidence and clarity. Faith redirects our focus from the uncertainty of fear to the certainty of trust, offering a sense of purpose and peace. It reminds us that we are never alone, connecting us to others, to a higher power, and to the resources we need to face life's challenges. By choosing faith over fear, we gain the clarity to act, the strength to endure, and the courage to pursue our true potential, knowing that we are guided and supported every step of the way. Ultimately, faith empowers us to embrace the unknown, trusting that whatever lies ahead, we have the inner resilience and divine support to rise above fear and fulfill our purpose.